All right, guys, good morning. Today we're going to talk about a school which is pretty far away. It's called Rochester Institute of Technology. Now, Rochester Institute of Technology, also known as RIT, is a technology university and it is in Western New York. All right. Western New York. Now, remember, we're talking about New York State, not New York City. New York State is very big, and New York City just happens to be one of the cities in there. But Rochester Institute of Technology is in the city of Rochester, which is actually about 5.5 hours away from New York City. So remember that. If you're thinking just because it says New York, remember, that's not New York City. You're actually closer to Canada than you are New York City. However, Rochester is one of the largest cities in New York State. I think just about over 200,000 people. Nice place. It gets pretty cold up there. Just try and let you know ahead of time. So we're going to go to the iPad. We're going to jump in there and we're going to take a look at that. Okay, good morning. Today, we shifted away from Washington, D.C. and New York City to Western New York. And we're going to go over um, a lot of the good universities in Western New York State. Now, remember, when we're talking about New York, we're talking about New York State. So we're going to go to the city of Rochester, which is one of the bigger cities in the state of New York. Of course, the biggest being New York City. Rochester is heading out west, actually close to the Canadian border. There are other cities around there, such as Buffalo, Albany, etc. Very picturesque and scenic part of the country, of the state. During summers, if you lived in New York City, your parents would send you to go to camp up there. So we'd go up there and ride horses and sail boats and stuff like that. So I really have a special place in my heart for Western New York. New York natives, we call it upstate New York, upstate. So, like I said, it's pretty far. We're going to talk about Rochester Institute of Technology. It's one of the technology schools that doesn't get talked about as much as, let's say, a school at like MIT or Caltech. But Rochester Institute of Technology may be a good choice for you. All right, maybe a good choice for you, especially if you're in the tech field or want to get into engineering or things like that. All right, let's jump on the iPad, see what we can find here. All righty. So first off, let's talk Rochester Institute of Technology, also known as RIT. RIT is on the Common App. All right, it's on the Common App. All right, so you see here, I searched it right here. You see it right on there, and you can apply for it on the Common App. Some people do it through their app as well, but it all depends. If you're doing a Common App, you're applying to a bunch of schools. I mean, why not just make it easy and go through it on there? All righty. So let's get into it. And as well, like I always says, if you want to know more about a city or a town that you're going to study in, just go to Wikipedia or Google and Google the town and figure out about it. Type in Rochester, New York, and Wikipedia will give you a whole rundown, history, breakdown, whole nine. All right. So I think that the major thing that we need to do here now is to go to the information on this page here. So, U.S. News, my favorite site I go to. Is it 100% accurate? Not all the time. However, it's a good start. I always say do your own due diligence. Um, so let's look first here. First thing, let's talk about the tuition at Rochester Institute of Technology before we go into international. All right, the tuition at Rochester Institute of Technology is about $57,000. Keep it real. Let me see what we have here. Yeah, I was close. $54,518. All right. By the time you throw in a room and board, you got another $15,000 in it. So you're talking about this school is going to run you easily around $75,000 to go to a year. All right. So it's one of the more expensive schools. It has an acceptance rate of 71%. All right. Which is pretty high. I mean, well, pretty mid range, 71%. Application fee, $65, whether it's there or on the Common App. If you can't pay it, contact someone in admissions. They may waive that fee. But however, if you're looking at a school that costs $75,000 a year, I can't possibly see how $65 is going to kill you. But that's me. Application date is rolling. For some reason, I don't believe. I'm going to be honest. I'm not really sold on this whole rolling admissions. I believe that international students on their senior year. By the time it's September or October, you should have your applications out to these schools. I don't want to hear anything about rolling and you're coming from another country. So if you're in your senior year now, you should have your list ready, and by September, all your applications should be out. All right, and that's just me personally. That's my personal opinion. That way, you're ahead of the game because for the people that are there in the United States, it's going to be easy for them to do stuff. But you have more things to do. You have to do visas, this, that, whatever. Who got time for all that? All right. So, rolling admissions. Size of the school. What do we have? 16,000 students, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, we have 16,790 students. That's, to me, that's a large school. All right. I mean, I came from a school with 2,000 or less kids, so 16,790 students are there. All right. Now, is that good for you? I don't know. You have to figure that out. 50% of students live on campus and 50% of students live off campus. All right. Let's look at the time here. Rochester is a 5.5 hour drive from New York City. Now, mind you, same state. It's 5.5 hour drive from New York City. It's about 3 hours from Toronto, Canada. So you can go see Niagara Falls and things like that. So it's it's pretty far. Rochester is it's tucked in Western New York. Very nice people. One thing you do have to be concerned about is the weather in the winter. The winters up there are brutal. All right. So if you don't like cold weather, you might want to, really take a serious, you really might want to think about this one here because Western New York does get cold. Okay. It does get cold. All right. Now, part what I'm waiting for. To the, let's go to their website and let's look at what they have to say about international students. All right. I like the way this looks here. Very welcoming. You can get an idea of how they treat the international students by looking at how much time they put in to their page. All right. Let's look here. It goes into if you need to request information, you can contact the admissions office there. Um, you could take virtual tours. It gives you some information on International Student Services, also known as ISS, and then give you some more information. Uh, they also have an English language program there, so if you need to tighten up on your English, you could do that while you're working in school, which is a very great idea because some people they may know English, but when it comes to using it in a academic or professional setting, they may get a little intimidated. All right. We assist students and scholars from more than 100 countries. 100 countries. I'm sure your country is in there unless you're from a country that no one knows about. So, over 100 countries are represented, so which means that you're going to hear a lot of different languages on the campus. You're going to run into people that, that may be from your own neighborhood. All right. Um, It says that we advise students, faculty, clubs, and departments of immigration. We also provide guidance for culture, academic, and personal matters. All right. They work with the Global Union and many international student clubs to help facilitate rich on-campus programs. And one thing that these campuses try to do, they want to make sure that international students are safe. Okay. They don't want to they don't want international students to run away. So, classic example, years ago, probably like 2001, when there was some problems in New York after September 11th, a lot of students were scared and didn't want to come to America because they didn't feel safe for the things that were going on with the Twin Towers. So students were just like, come home. I remember one student I knew, his mother called from Kuwait and said, no, you're coming home. We're done. All right. So they want to make sure students feel safe because students who are safe, they come, money comes, and everybody's happy. All right. ISS advisors are available Monday through Friday. All right. You could go to them by Zoom, or email or phone, And this is a great idea that they have here, having the international scholars advising for them. So you can get all your information. They can help you more out with visas and things like that. I usually don't touch into that stuff because, I'm not an expert in immigration. So I don't want to sit there and talk about stuff that I only have half-ass information on. All right. Now, and then even on the site, it goes into, immigration and employment. Curricular practical training. It goes into maintaining visa status. All right. Dependents and visitors. Goes into all of that. All right. Just to let you know, real quick, I know we never talked about this, but there are some colleges in America that do have married housing. They do have married housing on some campuses in America. We'll do a whole nother class on that as well. All righty. Let's go into academics. Hey, this is going to be interesting. All right. Academics. Look at all the lovely degrees they have here, from accounting to advertising photography options, to animation to aerospace engineering option, applied mathematics. We have a whole lot of majors here that, to me, it just shows that this school is about their business. I really like the majors and programs they offer in some of these tech schools. I mean, I love it. Probably because I'm not really a big tech guy, and I love to see the different majors. I like to see kids get into things like furniture design and photojournalism and printmaking and human centered computing. I mean, there's a lot of great things at this university here. Great things. All right. Now, so you can scroll down, figure out this is a school you're interested in. One thing you always got to do, we mentioned before, if you haven't done already, please go to International Student Scholarships, sign up, and start looking for some money. Because Rochester Institute of Technology is going to run you $75,000. That's just school, room, and board. Probably you're going to spend another $15,000, $20,000 some other nonsense. Your bill can run up to 100 grand a year. Now, unless your daddy is the king of a country we don't know about, or you got money just floating around, finances are going to be an issue. All right. Hopefully, your government pays for a lot of these things, or an organization, but you have to figure out a way how you're going to save and preserve money. All right. So definitely make sure, if you haven't done already, go to International Student, sign up. So back to you, Rochester Institute of Technology. Like I said, this is definitely a place that I've looked at over the years. I've never been there. You could take a virtual tour. It looks like a beautiful campus. A lot of things going on, a lot of clubs, and the student life seems pretty good. So when you get a chance, check this out. You can put this on your list. 71% acceptance rate, which is pretty good. Pay the application fee and just send it in. All right. Let me know how it goes. Love to see your feedback on this school. Okay. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Remember, we have so many universities that we're going to try to cover and try to give you some schools that you might not hear about but are still there. Try Rochester Institute of Technology, also known as RIT. It's one of the better technology schools in America. It's kind of pricey, but at the end of the day, I mean, you sometimes have to pay to get a good education. But, take a look at it. Go over it with your family. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about this school. If you think this school is of good value, do you think it's somewhere you would like to be? Talk about the location. And if you know any friends or have any family that have maybe gone there, maybe they can give you like a little bit of more insight of Rochester Institute of Technology. It's in a city which many consider kind of far away from civilization, but however, Rochester is a nice area. It's a very nice area that people don't talk about. It's just that the winters do get brutal. I keep bringing that up. All right. Talk to you soon.